Do my best. I do my best. All right, we are continuing to try to see how the police in South Central. I think today is June 22nd. I know it's the 22nd. It's my son's birthday, and it's 9 o'clock at night, maybe 10. And I am in Skid Row. While a lot of my good friends are comfortably at home in bed, good for them. I'm out doing what we do. And I just heard sirens and all kind of things. So let's first of all try to make sure no unarmed black, Hispanic, or poor white man gets gunned down tonight. Perhaps with a knee on his neck or something like that. And let's see that our police officers are policing in a way that is appropriate and in a way that is fair. That's what we want to know. Okay. And I'm looking at some of the uniforms here, and I can't tell whether that's an LAPD car, but a couple of the guards over there look like they're wearing sheriff's uniforms. Either that or something similar to that. So we want to make sure that they're not mistreating a homeless gentleman here who was obviously just homeless. And a lot of times when they're just homeless, they lock them up basically for nothing. And sometimes a lockup for a homeless gentleman is a step up because it gives them somewhere to sleep tonight. Obviously, several of these people are security for the building here. But now, if you could have seen the way the sirens were coming, you would have thought they had a man over here with an Uzi or an AK-47. But it turns out to be a lone, homeless brother. When I say brother, either Hispanic or white brother. But definitely a poor person who's down on his luck, and he looks rather disheveled. I am always fascinated and flabbergasted by how they police in the hood as we juxtapose that to the way that they police in the hills. They don't police the same way in South Central the way they do in Beverly Hills, Brentwood, any of the other upper income areas. And that is simple. They know that the person that they have on the wall in Brentwood, Beverly Hills, etc., is more than likely affiliated, associate, acquainted, if not directly related to a doctor, a lawyer, a person who either has power in the judicial system or has enough money to buy the power that is necessary for the judicial system. But when they're dealing with poor folks, 9 times out of 10 you won't even make bail, and they know that. Now they're asking to see his tattoos. What does his tattoos have to do with anything? Now this is where the preacher steps in. This is where the preacher. So let's see if we can figure out what this conversation is all about. I want to know why they need to see his tattoos.
I'm just making sure because it says U.S. Marine Corps tattoo on his right arm, so I want to see if he has one. Is it it's just a picture of a lady? All right, thank you. That's all I need to see. Okay.
And this is probably a veteran here.
You said you're on parole, right? Or probation? Summary information.
see the officer purporting to wear the mask, but you can clearly see his lips, right? If you see his lips, that means he's not wearing the mask, so he may as well not even have the mask on. Here's my point, ladies and gentlemen. If he has coronavirus, he will definitely be transferring it and transmitting it to the person that he is dealing with here, and vice versa. If the person he is dealing with has coronavirus, he could very easily transfer it to the officer. So the officer is jeopardizing this person's safety. The officer is jeopardizing his own safety. And when he gets home to his wife, if he has one, he'll be jeopardizing her safety. And if he has kids, he'll be jeopardizing their safety. You see his mouth clearly, right? You can see his teeth. So again, he may as well not be wearing a mask. Some of this comes from the top down. When you have a president who does not wear a mask, it makes these guys not want to wear a mask. If you've been watching me on YouTube, I'm Pastor Sherman D.Manning. I pastor Yes We Can Worship Center. Be sure to like this video. Everybody like it, share it. Go to Mark Adams and sign it. Now he's giving him a mask to put on, even though he himself, the officer, has no mask on. It's not on his mouth anyway, it's on his chin, right? So anyway, let's get back to the point. The point again is, like the video, go to Mark Adams, MarkAdams, on YouTube. You'll see a Hispanic guy with a green protest sign up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. The Mark Adams handle is mine. And yes, I am Pastor Sherman D.Manning, Yes We Can Worship Center. I am fairly sure they might be taking him into custody tonight, because I heard him say that he was on summary probation. Usually when they're on probation, more often than not, they'll take them to jail. The officer has seen some tattoo, and he said that was the tattoo that he was looking for. We're on the tail end. We just want to see the way he was being treated, and that's what we wanted to know. And once again, the officer is not wearing his mask in a way that is appropriate. Okay? Y'all feel me? Do as I say, not as I do. They obviously know exactly who I am, which is why they haven't asked me, why I'm here, etc., so forth and so on. When you do this work for a while, they all begin to know who you are. And even though they don't like you, sometimes they end up having to respect you, because they know that you're going to dot the I's and cross the T's. They know that I know what to do and what not to do. Okay? I'm 10 feet away. That's number one. Number two, when you don't make any sudden moves and you keep your hands fairly visible, you'll be okay. Now, there have been times I've been filming that they've said, take your hands out of your pocket, and I haven't done so. What? Go ahead. How are you doing? And I haven't done so. And that's because I'm not required to take my hands out of my pocket, okay? But now if you want me to be a wise preacher, I would suggest to everybody, when you walk up on the police, have your hands out of your pocket. And to be quite frank, I would have done it those times, but I didn't like the way they were talking to me. And I knew they knew I didn't have a weapon. Okay? But by and large, keep your hands out of your pockets. That's what I would tell my son, so that's what I would tell you, so that they don't have a pretext to try to pretend they thought they saw something. That's why they shot you. When I'm filming an incident, it's a lot different than if I'm stopped for speeding. If I'm stopped for speeding, you will see my hands out the window. And if you don't see them directly out the window, you will see them on the steering wheel clearly. If it's night, before I come to a full stop, I will turn my lights on inside the car. Why? So that they will be able to see my hands, because there's two sides to that story. If I am a police officer and I'm pulling up to a car, pulling you over, don't have a clue who you are, and I walk up to your car and it's real dark and you jerk, hey, I don't know what you're jerking with. But if your lights are on and your hands are visible, I got no reason to shoot you and pretend like I thought you had a weapon. You follow me? So we have to be wise, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people see the way I act on these videos and they don't understand. That's because I'm not the suspect at that moment. When I'm the suspect, then I'm a lot more cautious and precautious. And if possible, I'm still trying to film even before they pull me over. I'm trying to get that on video. Okay? Trying to get that on video. Trying to get that on video. And so
going into my 6th month next week. I love it. It's good. I believe it. No one said you hurt anybody. Yeah, I love it.
I heard the officer say this is his 6th month as a police officer.
Yeah, no one said he hurt anybody.
And he loves it. Seems to be an okay gentleman.
He's laying in the corner.
The only problem is, with 6 months in, if I heard him correctly, if he's driving with someone who has 20 years and that person is corrupted, what does it do to the man with the 6 months in? That's the problem we have with policing and things called the code of silence and the thin blue line. And these are real problems that we have in policing in this country. You got the 6 month guy who ain't wearing the mask properly. You can see his mouth. The spittle drops are still shooting out. Okay? And then you have the veteran that he is riding with, and we don't know what that veteran is about. So, policing in this country is broken, and we need to fix it. Now you see his partner getting out, and his mask is all the way down. He's not even faking. Okay, so we'll give him credit. He's putting it on, seemingly. Are we giving him too much credit? Let's see, he's taking it off, putting it back on. Okay, so we give him credit. He put it on when he started making contact with the other guy. And they are letting him go, so that's a good thing.
According to my records, you don't have a warrant. So you don't have a warrant, you don't it doesn't even show that you're on probation. So what the information is? No, it doesn't say you're
So basically, it seems like he wanted them to arrest him. Is that amazing? For you all. Many, many years ago, Reverend Jesse Jackson used to say that jail is a step up for many people. I remember that sermon, that speech, like it was yesterday. Jail is a step up, Jesse would say. Once they are jailed, they'll have 3 hots and a cot. Once they are jailed, they'll have a place to shower. Once they are jailed. Well, Jesse, it's no longer 3 hots and a cot. I got to modify that. Now it's 2 hots and a cot because lunch is cold in 90% of the jails and prisons in this country now. But we get the story. So this man, apparently, from everything I was able to hear, wanted them to arrest him. Told them that he had a warrant. Turns out that he did not have a warrant. It's a sad, sad day when people throw themselves into the arms of the police wanting to be arrested because Mayor Garcetti and other public officials who have claimed to do so much for homelessness in this country have not gotten housing for the least of these, our brothers and sisters who are sleeping on the streets in Skid Row. It's a sad, sad story. It's a sad story. It's a sad story. I was on San Pedro earlier today, and I'm not going to name the organization because I actually work with the organization a lot, and I think they do great work. But there is this organization that houses homeless people, and there are many of them in the city, so don't try to guess which one I'm talking about. But apparently they had turned this lady away, and she was on the side of the street with all of her stuff, a white woman sitting next to her husband. She said it was her husband, and they had 2 dogs, and I was there to pick up my son who works over there, and I asked him, what's the problem? And she said to me that this organization had kicked her out of their housing program because of what she called he said, she said. There's always two sides to every story now. But I said, so where are you going tonight? And she said, we don't know. And as she said that, one of the program directors for that organization was walking out and said, hello, Pastor Manning, how are you? And when she saw that I was engaged with the woman on the streets, that did something. I got a phone call. I had to leave quickly. My son gave the woman my card, and we left. I told her I would talk to her later. She texted me about 45 minutes later to say that as soon as you left, the same woman who had kicked us out of the program, the same woman who spoke to you, Pastor Manning, came over and gave us a voucher for a motel tonight. And my spiritual father was saying that's what you call power. When just her conversational connection to one of God's preachers that the organization recognized, and they knew I was going to get on the phone. They knew that I was going to get on the phone. They know me. And they said, no, let's get her housed tonight. God is good. Keep the faith here. Yes, we can.